So then you get out of, so you commit to like, all right, I'm going to actually try to cobble together a career out of filmmaking.
Yeah.
And so did you major in film studies?
It was film and media studies.
Film and media studies.
Which was, the media is an important part of that.
Okay.
It was a lot of paper writing. But I really found my way in college through volunteering on film sets, more so than I did in class. But like by the end of college, I was like, all right, this is like what I'm going to do. I'm fully invested in this thing. To like an almost psychotic degree.
It requires that, I think. I think it's almost a necessity.
Yeah.
So you get out of college and then like they give you a piece of paper that says now you're a filmmaker.
Yeah.
They're like, what's like the first couple of months of that, and like what's your first kind of steps?
Yeah.
When you're kind of laying out your plan,
Sure.
like, all right, here's how I'm going to attack this gigantic mountain.
I was kind of lucky in that I, opposed to most people in college within the last 20 years or so, I actually had a job lined up.
Okay.
Before
That's
I was
really great. I did not.
Yeah. So I avoided that whole like 6 month year period of like existential dread of like, I have this.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
One of my good friends, I went to school in UC Santa Barbara, and one of my good friends, he moved out to Detroit and with Venture for America and started working for Dan Gilbert, who is the billionaire that was kind of revitalizing
Bruce Wayne of Detroit.
Bruce Wayne of Detroit, owner of many different companies, and the kind of main one being Quicken Loans.
Who's your friend's name? I don't think
my friend's name is Sean Jackson.
I never met Sean, actually.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. Okay. So Sean moves out to Detroit.
He moves out to Detroit, and he moves out to Detroit. Starts working for Dan Gilbert. They want to start sort of a film something there. I think at the time. This is
like, was John Browie just starting to formulate Woodward Original, or had that not come to fruition yet?
I don't think it was fully a thing at that point. But
him and John were close, and they were talking about.
I think they were technically like Dan Gilbert's video guys.
Right.
And I think Browie was probably at that time visualizing turning it into a production company, but it wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
But it was like, all right, we're starting a production company. My friend Sean, he put together, like, he got them on Google Drive.
Right. Wow.
Which this is 2014, at the time, like.
Whoa, cloud computing. Holy shit.
Yeah, man, I think I'm aging myself. Oh my God.
We all are. It's fine.
But it was, Sean was helping them organize things and, get things together in like a more organized way.
Because creating a pipeline, essentially.
Yeah, for sure.
An infrastructure.
Essentially, they were just doing like internal video content for, at the time, Quicken Loans, which is now Rocket Mortgage.
Right.
For Quicken Loans, for Dan.
Was this just for like internal like training videos? Was this for like actual like advertising? We're gonna put on like commercials and
what
things.
Was it? I think it was just. I think it was a lot of. I don't know if you could say training videos, but it was like more like culture videos.
Yeah, I know what you. I mean, I worked at the con, so I remember. Yeah, they had a lot of those.
But anyways, that's kind of what they were doing. But long story short, Sean recommended me for a job, and in my final year of college, I was driving 2 hours every weekend down to LA. And I was like volunteering as a free PA on AFI sets.
Okay.
American Film Institute sets. Yeah. Which is actually a great place to start.
I recommend anybody.
If you're looking for a way to get started in film, I would say volunteering on AFI sets is really
It's as close to the real thing as you can get, really.
For sure. Yeah. But at the same time, I saw the monumentous mountain ahead of me of trying to be a PA in Hollywood.
Right.
And work my way up to being a director. And I was like, dude, this is going to be rough. And I was ready to do it. I was going to do it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay.
Well, also, you can also get stuck in that loop too, where I mean, there's guys who crew for 20 years, and some people, that's all they want, and that's great.
Totally.
But I think a lot of people get into that game wanting to climb the ladder all the way up to being the guy. And I think a lot of them just kind of don't ever get there for one reason or another.
For sure. I think it's part of it is getting like typecast, I think, as a PA, or typecast as an AC, or typecast as
or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you get sort of known as that thing, and it's difficult to break out of being that.
Yeah.
But I saw an opportunity to be a bigger fish in a smaller pond, and to get like on the ground floor of maybe a production company. And it's not like I had anything else going on in LA besides more of the same.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, I'll give this a shot. I put everything in my car. I drove across country, and I find myself in Detroit.
It's a hell of a drive.
Yeah, it's actually great.
I've done that
great,
drive.
great
I forget
drive.
how parallel some of our formative life events were.
Maybe
Sometimes in reverse.
Yeah.
You drove out to Michigan. I drove out to LA.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe there's like a Stranger Things upside down.
Could be.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So I go out there.
So you just knew Sean in Detroit.
I just knew Sean. He was the only person I knew.
Okay.
So it's basically like the inverse of the Midwest person coming out to the inverse of you.
I'm going